Are you somebody who likes watching TikTok? If yes, this video is for you because I'm going to explain what is TikTok doing to our brains and how is TikTok keeping you stuck in life. More in today's video. Hi, I have a PhD in neuroscience, and on the channel Neuroproductivity, we talk about developing healthy habits and achieving our goals using principles of neuroscience. In today's video, I will explain to you what TikTok is doing to our brains and how because of that you're unmotivated and you cannot achieve your goals, but instead you're stuck in life. Let's first explain what TikTok is doing to our brains. I remember when TikTok first came out, people were sharing a lot of videos about TikTok on Instagram, and I checked TikTok out. However, I think the algorithm was still bad at the time because I kept being suggested very shitty videos, and I personally didn't like TikTok at all, so I just didn't use it. And whenever people would talk about TikTok, I would remember that it recommended me very bad videos, and I didn't feel like going on TikTok. And I'm so grateful for this because I notice how many of my friends and also my clients keep scrolling on TikTok, and because of that, they cannot achieve their goals in life. Now, one obvious thing is that people spend a lot of time on TikTok, and instead of investing that time in something more useful, they waste a lot of time on TikTok. That is one thing. But another important thing is what TikTok is doing to our brains. Let's talk about dopamine. Dopamine is a happiness hormone that is released in our brains. And dopamine, first of all, helps you feel happier, but it's also important for the motivation. This is a hormone that will keep you motivated to do stuff, for example, to get up, to go work out, to work on your project, to study. And dopamine was during our evolution being released in order to motivate people to go hunt and gather for food. So that was the main principles of dopamine. It would be released so people would move themselves and go search for food. Nowadays, we can use dopamine to motivate us to get up from bed, to work on our goals, to go to the gym. What happens with TikTok? So with TikTok, because videos are so fun and entertaining, you will feel happier and it will release a lot of dopamine in your brain. So the dopamine in your brain will go quickly up. And that is why when you use TikTok, you will feel happier. However, what happens when dopamine goes quickly so high? The thing is, after that, it will drop significantly. So starting from a certain baseline, it will go up, and then it would drop to even lower than the baseline. So then when you watch TikTok, you will first feel happier, but then after that you will feel worse. However, people then want to feel good again and then keep getting stuck in this cycle, thinking that watching more and more videos would bring them back to being happier, but they are actually just stuck and feel bad. Another thing that happens is when dopamine is very low, you are not motivated to do anything. You don't want to get up from your bed, you don't want to work, you don't want to go work out, so the motivation is very low. And that is what happens with people that rotten in bed. So they scroll on social media, the dopamine goes up quickly, but then it drops very low and they cannot get up from the bed. So that is why this term rotting in bed comes from. Your dopamine being depleted from watching social media and watching TikTok. This can be compared with glucose. For example, when you eat something sweet, the glucose would quickly go up and you would feel more energized. However, the glucose would also quickly drop. So when we eat something sweet, we would have a little bit more energy at the very beginning. So we think that we should eat sugar in order to get energy. However, the glucose would drop very low very quickly, and then we would stay without energy. And that is why it's recommended for lunch not to eat sweets and not to eat carbs, but to eat salads and proteins, so you would have more stable glucose level and with that more stable energy. So now that we understand that TikTok affects our dopamine, meaning dopamine goes quickly up but then drops very low, and because we don't have dopamine we cannot move. How to solve this problem? One thing that helped me a lot is to turn off my phone. When I catch myself scrolling on social media, I turn off my phone. And I also sometimes put it in another room. First of all, if you want to scroll on social media again, you would need to go to the other room. And often we are lazy to go to another room to grab our phone, or on the way to another room, we might have a little bit of time to make a decision what we want to do. Because when the phone is just next to us, we will just grab it without thinking and start scrolling. But when the phone is in another room, then we have some time to think and to decide whether we want to do it or not. Now, another thing even if you go to the other room, if your phone is turned off, that's another signal to your brain that it's turned off for a reason and that you might not want to turn it on. Or even if you want to turn it on, you might be a little bit lazy to do it. And my phone, for example, takes time when I turn it on. It takes time to load. And then I say to myself, never mind, I'm just gonna do something else. I'm not gonna wait for my phone to turn on and then go on social media. I'm just gonna do something else. So this is a simple trick. If you're somebody who scrolls on TikTok and scrolling on social media, you want to turn off your phone, put it in another room, and that's going to make it more difficult for you to grab your phone and start scrolling. But the best way to get rid of unhealthy habits and to achieve your goals in life is to work with a coach. I am offering free sessions where we talk one-on-one on what are some problems that are bothering you, and I will also give you solutions to those problems that are based on neuroscience. I had some clients who managed to change their lives by just one consultation. For example, I had a girl who, thanks to my consultation, managed to finish her medical school and she became a doctor. So if you're somebody who wants to make big changes in their lives and wants to stick to their goals and achieve them, make sure to schedule your free consultation with me. You can find the link in the description down below. You just click on that link and you schedule your first session. Now let's summarize this video. Why do people scroll so much on TikTok and why is it bad? A lot of it has to do with dopamine. When you scroll on TikTok, the dopamine goes up, so you feel happier and then you want to scroll more. However, the more you scroll and the faster the dopamine goes up, it will also go down very quickly because it's going to be depleted. And when dopamine goes down, when it drops, you will lose motivation and you won't be able to work. And if you don't work on your goals, you're never going to achieve them. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful and make sure to subscribe in order to see some great content that I'm going to prepare this year.